Hi everybody, welcome to this new segment I'm calling Box Caked Beauties, and this is a segment where we're going to be taking your average everyday box cake and giving it a bit of flair with some added ingredients and flavors. So today I'm going to be trying a light fruit cake. If you are from the Caribbean, then you know that at Christmas time we make your traditional dark fruit cake or black cake or rum cake. So I'm going to be doing a version of that but using this super moist French vanilla cake base and adding some soaked fruits to it with some other spices. So let's see how it goes. First thing I'm gonna do is grease my pan. I use a bundt tin for these. Of course, you can use any kind of cake tin that you like. I just like the look of it with that sort of decorative hole in the middle. I've got a bit of oil in here, just greased it all up. Typically, I don't tend to turn it over at the end of it because I always have problems with sticking, but you know, there are better bakers than me who know how you can avoid that, and sometimes they add not just butter or oil but also a bit of flour in the bottom to help it not to stick. So we're going to get started now. We'll start with the actual ingredients that are recommended on the box cake. So this one calls for eggs, oil, and water or milk. However, because we're doing a light fruit cake mix, I'm actually going to substitute the water or milk for port, or you know, anything that you've used for soaking your fruit. And again, if you've made Caribbean black cake before, you understand what I mean. When I say soaking the fruit, I just mean that it's in either some sort of grape or alcoholic drink or beverage that you've soaked your fruit in so it absorbs the flavor. So we're going to start with our eggs. Now this cake mix calls for 3 eggs. However, I have found a hack for that, and that is to use a 1/4 cup of yogurt instead of the 3rd egg, and it works just as fine. I don't know the science behind it, I just know it works. And I'm going to whip that up. Here. I hope your day's going well today and that you've been having a good week, and if you haven't, I hope that you've been just putting your trust in the Lord, because we know that He is faithful and will come through for us if we stand strong in Him. So I've got that all mixed up. I always do it. I always beat the eggs really well to get a bit of air, a bit of lift into it. I'm using a whisk, a hand whisk, but of course you can always use your stand mixer or your hand mixer if you've got one. So we're going to pause from that for a moment. Now to our mix here with the eggs and the yogurt, I am going to add a few spices. Now I'm using similar spices to what you would have actually used in your Caribbean black cake. So I have a bit of ginger here, not too much. I'm just using it to sort of lightly flavor it, to give you those sort of flavors. I've got a little bit of clove, and yes, I am eyeballing this. And a little bit of cinnamon. I would say maybe just a pinch or a 1/4 teaspoon at the most. And we'll give that a quick whip. Mix. The next thing I'm going to add will be the cup of port. And at that point, we're going to start adding in our actual box cake mix. Now, I'll show you also that I have the mixed fruit. So this fruit has been soaking for about 2 years, so it is good and fermented, I would imagine. And it does have a very lovely flavor. I don't see myself making Caribbean black cake this year. I usually have friends who are very generous and give to the family, so I think I'm going to use it for this sort of thing. The last time I tried this recipe, The fruits, because they're so heavy, they kind of sank to the bottom of the batter. So what I'm going to do is just mix them with a little bit of flour, and hopefully that helps absorb some of the moisture that sends them down to the bottom. And then later on we'll fold this into the cake. And just to show you that we're using, I hope you can see this, super moist French vanilla, but any sort of white cake would do. So I'm going to beat this in alternatively with the port. And you don't want to overbeat your cakes because that makes them tough. So I'm just doing this until all the lumps are a bit smooth. So probably for a count of 20 seconds at most. And you can see the color is already changing. Can't believe that we're already in February of 2025. Can you? It really does seem like time just zooms on the older you get. And when you're a kid, it takes forever. Unless you're in school. Okay, we're almost done here. So I'm just gonna add the rest of the bag. And again, the only reason I did it alternately like this is just so that I could avoid all of the lumps that would come if I had just sort of, because I'm hand whisking it. If you're doing this in the machine, you're less likely to have the lumps. And there we go. And then I'm going to just whisk it all together for about another 10 seconds. And now we're going to add our fruit. So what I have here are actually some sultanas, some raisins, and some plums, which I chopped in smaller bits. Because you tend to soak them, unless your recipe calls for them to be pre-chopped. You tend to soak them whole. So I just, for this purpose of this cake, I made them smaller. I chopped them smaller, so that there'd be a more even distribution. And then just gonna simply mix that so that you've got a nice distribution of fruit to batter. I know we don't have smell-o-vision, but it smells really good. I'm gonna add in a little bit more of cinnamon because my family really enjoys those flavors. For the baking part, you'll just follow the instructions on the box. It tells you how many minutes per size of the size of the tins that you're using. So for our purposes, this is going to bake between 25 to 30 minutes. I'll check it again at about 26 minutes, 27 minutes, because my oven is quite fast. So if you know your oven, then you can use your discretion how you'd like to do the baking. So we're just gonna add our cake mix to our bundt tin here. And as you can see, the port has changed the color of the cake, of the batter. So, but it will still bake as a light fruit cake. Because what gives the Caribbean cakes their color is browning, and we have not added any of that today. And of course, the color of the fruit. Just let it even out a little bit. You can also just drop your pan. Just pick it up and just let it drop, and that will take care of any air bubbles. Let's give it a taste, shall we? Smells great. We've got a good even distribution of fruit, so tossing the soaked fruit in the flour first really did help. It's lovely and moist. It is a slightly different mouthfeel without the oil added into it, but if you are looking for a low-fat alternative, this will definitely work. And it's perfect with your tea. Thank you so much for joining me for this very first episode of Box Cake Beauties. I hope that you'll try it out, and please do let me know in the comments how it works out for you. And if you're having sort of a difficult time this week or a difficult day today, I just want to remind you that the Lord has promised that He has given us His Spirit, which is full of love, joy, and peace, and that we shouldn't be fearful because He is always with us, and He's promised that He will take us through every difficulty, every valley. Not that we won't experience them, but that He will be with us through it all. All right, everybody, have a great day. Thank you. God bless. Oh, be creative for the kingdom.